Hello everyone, my name is Badal and today I'm excited to talk about two of the influential theorists in the field of early childhood education, John Dewey and Loris Malaguzzi. You might be wondering why we are discussing about these two theorists. Well, theories guide us in understanding how children grow and develop and they challenges our principles and values as educators and parents. By applying these theories, we can better support children's curiosity, critical thinking, and creativity. Both Dewey's philosophy and the Reggio Emilia approach focus on children-centered learning, hands-on exploration, and collaboration between teachers, parents, and the community. So let's have a look at a view of the child. John Dewey believed that children are naturally curious and capable of understanding the world through exploration. His philosophy challenges traditional education, where children were often seen as passive learners. He advocated for a hands-on approach where children learn by doing experimenting and reflecting on their experiences. Dewey saw learning as an active process, where children engage with the world around them, solve problems, and think critically about what they encounter. Similarly, in the Reggio Emilia approach, children are viewed as competent and capable learners from birth. This approach believes that every child is unique and intelligent in their own way. Rather than simply sitting and listening, children in Reggio Emilia learn by exploring, asking questions, and engaging with their environment. They express themselves in various ways, not just through language, but through art, play, and other forms of communication. Now let's look at the approaches of both the theorists. John Dewey, one of the biggest names in education, had a really forward-thinking approach. He believed that kids learn best when they're actively involved, when they can actually experience things for themselves rather than just sitting and being told what to do. For Dewey, learning isn't just about memorizing facts, it's about engaging with the world, solving problems, thinking for yourself, and reflecting on what you have done. He thought should be just like little democracies where everyone's voice matters. Teachers aren't there just to hand out information, they are there to guide students through challenges, help them work together, and encourage them to think critically. Dewey's goal wasn't just about academic success, it was about raising kids who are thoughtful, who can ask questions, and who can make smart decisions for themselves. His approach is all about creating thinkers, not just people who can just repeat information. Now, the Reggio Emilia approach is pretty similar in some ways. It also sees children as active, curious, and capable learners. In Reggio Emilia classrooms, children aren't just passive receivers of knowledge, they're explorers. They learn by asking questions, experimenting, and figuring out as they go. Teachers work with them in guiding through their explorations, but not telling them what to do in every step of the way. One of the cool things about Reggio is that it believes children express themselves in many different ways, not just through words, but through art, play, and other forms of communication. It's an environment where children develop not just their brains, but their social and emotional skills, all while falling in love with learning. So what about roles of parents in both of the theories? Dewey highlighted the importance of parents in learning process. For him, learning that just doesn't happen in the classroom, but it should extend into everyday life. Parents play a key role in providing real-life experiences at home and in the community. They help children reflect on what they have learned and encourage problem solving. This way, learning becomes something that happens constantly, both in and out of the school. In Reggio Emilia, parents are seen as child's first teachers. Teachers and parents work together as partners, communicating regularly to support the children's learning and development. Parents are encouraged to be actively involved in classroom activities and contribute to their learning processes. The partnership between home and schools help to enrich the children's learning experience and strengthen their sense of support and community. What about the role of teachers? Dewey's idea of teaching is about being a guide or a mentor, not just a lecturer. Teacher helps children by creating experiences that connect to the real world. They observe students to see what interests them and provide activities based on those interests. Dewey believed that teachers should encourage children to explore, solve problems, and think critically. Teachers also need to create an environment where children feel safe to take risks and learn from their mistakes. This way, children grow as independent thinkers and active learners. In the Reggio Emilia approach, teachers are guides, not just people who give instructions. Their job is to create a space where children can explore, ask questions, and share their ideas. Teachers observe the children, listen to them, and provide materials that will help them learn. They support children's creativity and expression, whether through art, play. Teachers also document children's progress to understand their learning goal. Their goal is to let children take the lead in their learning, with the teacher offering the support when needed. Let's talk about types of learning environment. In Dewey's view, the learning environment should be flexible and supportive of exploration. He believed that learning shouldn't just happen in classroom, it should include real-life experiences. Dewey encouraged teachers to provide opportunities for students to explore and solve real problems. He also thought that students should be able to learn by working together on projects. Teachers should create environments where children can experiment, reflect, and collaborate. Dewey's ideal environment encourages children to think critically and creatively about the world around them in a beautiful learning environment. In the Reggio Emilia approach, the classroom is designed to be welcoming and stimulating. It's called the third teacher because it plays an important role in children's learning. Classrooms use natural light, plants, and materials that make children curious. The environment is set up so children can explore and learn independently. For example, tables are at child's height, and there are many materials that children can choose from. The classroom also encourages creativity, communication, and exploration. Let's talk about the development promoted in Dewey's and Reggio Emilia's educational philosophy. Dewey's approach is all about developing the whole child. He focuses not just on the mind but also on the emotional growth. Dewey encourages kids to think critically with others and reflect on their own experiences. Through this, children develop important social skills, learn how to manage their emotions, and become better problem solvers. In the end, Dewey's goal is to help kids become thoughtful, active members of society who can make good decisions and contribute in meaningful ways. The Reggio Emilia approach also takes a holistic view on the development, but in its own way. It supports growth across different areas of child's life. Social skills are built as children work together on projects, while cognitive skills are boosted by hands-on activities like gardening, cooking, and problem solving. Fine motor skills develops through art and building projects, and sensory development gets a boost from outdoor play and interactive experiences. In Reggio Emilia, every part of a child's growth is valued intellectually, emotionally, physically. It's all about helping the children grow in every way possible. Let's take a look at the role of curriculum in both of the philosophies. Dewey's curriculum is all about flexibility and meeting kids where they are at. It's based on their interests, so it feels relevant to them. Instead of just sticking to rigid subjects, Dewey focused on real-life problems, interdisciplinary learning, and building critical thinking skills. Teachers pay attention to what excites their students and create lessons that tap into those curiosities. For Dewey, learning isn't just about memorizing facts, it's about teaching kids how to think, solve problems, and engage with the real life world in meaningful ways. In Reggio Emilia approach, similarly, development happens in a lot of different ways. Kids build social skills while they work together on projects, and their cognitive skills grows through hands-on activities like cooking, gardening, or tackling problem solving. What about the implications in early childhood education? Both Dewey's philosophy and Reggio Emilia approach have had a big impact on early childhood education globally, and that includes Australia as well, where they really align with the earliest learning framework. Both approaches focuses on important skills like problem solving, critical thinking, and teamwork, but they also place a huge emphasis on play and exploration. These methods encourage kids to be active in their learning, asking questions, and diving into their experiences. It's all about helping children grow into confident, independent learners who aren't afraid to think for themselves and take on new challenges. So let's talk about the newest versions and discussions. This slide shows how both Dewey and Reggio Emilia are still very much alive in today's classroom. Dewey's and very popular as well. Dewey's idea of experimental learning, learning by doing, has really shaped how we use things like play-based learning and project-based learning today. Kids learn best when they are actively engaged, which is why these methods focus on real-life experiences. Dewey has also championed on child-centered education, making sure learning is driven by child's needs, interests, and experiences. This translates into individualized learning today, where teachers respond to each child's pace and style. On the Reggio side, children are seen as protagonists. They lead their own learning driven by curiosity and exploration. Teachers today still take on the role of guides and learners, helping kids exploring their interests and ideas. The environment is a huge part of this, as the classroom is considered as a third teacher, designed to inspire creativity and exploration with the things like open space, natural light, and interactive materials. Reggio's idea of an emergent curriculum means teachers will follow the children's interests, using those observations to plan lessons that feel relevant and meaningful. And finally, both Dewey and Reggio Reggio really emphasize collaboration and community, where learning happens best when kids work together and engage with each other, the teachers, and even families. To finish up, both Dewey's educational philosophy and Loris Malaguzzi's Reggio Emilia approach shows us that children learn best when they are engaged, curious, and involved in real world-like experiences. These theories highlight the importance of creating a child-centered learning environment where teachers, parents, and the community all play a role in supporting the children's growth and development. But before I finish, I would like to leave you with a couple of questions. How have you seen children benefit from collaborative, inquiry-based learning and as emphasized in both Reggio Emilia and Dewey's theories? And the other question is, in your own practice, how do you involve parents to make sure that learning extends beyond the classroom and stays connected to the real world experiences? By adopting these approaches, we can help children grow into thoughtful and independent learners ready to take on the world. So in this slide, I have included all the references that have been used for this presentation. Thank you so much for your time and attention.